The much-anticipated first debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump ended just minutes ago. What the two candidates told voters tonight.
A person who visited Lexington was diagnosed with the Zika virus, how it led to some changes in the health department's mosquito spraying schedule.
Tough to think he's gone.
How friends are remembering a state trooper from southern Kentucky who died in what investigators are calling an accidental fall.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
And good evening. Tonight, police are trying to figure out what led up to a deadly crash that shut down part of the Mountain Parkway in Powell County.
It happened around 8 tonight in the westbound lanes not far from the Stanton exit. State police say two cars heading westbound collided, but they're not sure how. They say one person was killed and several others were taken to the hospital with injuries. The victim's name has not yet been released. The westbound lanes near the Stanton exit were closed for a couple of hours, but dispatchers say they reopened around 10 tonight. Turning to the weather now, some cooler fall air has finally arrived here in the Bluegrass.
And after some rain today, it looks like tomorrow will be drier. We begin tonight with meteorologist Jim Caldwell, and your no-wait weather forecast tomorrow looks pretty nice.
Tomorrow is nice. Very comfortable stuff coming your way. And the chill that we are talking about, that fall feel, there it is. It's already 56 degrees here in Lexington right now, down to 52 in Mount Sterling. Still just a little bit warmer to our south and east as the low, mid, and upper 60s stay steady there, but the cooler air mass is certainly showing up throughout the entire area. Here's what we've got going on with our Defender Radar Network. Things are clearing left and right across most of Kentucky now, so it'll be sweeping through. This back edge of the cloud cover gets into eastern Kentucky and clears out for you soon as well. But now that we're starting to see those skies clear here in Lexington, we're going to watch our temperatures drop a little more rapidly as well, at least for the overnight. As we look forward, after having one nice day in our forecast, which is tomorrow, we get into a rut. It's a scattered pattern of showers each and every single day, meaning that it's going to be gloomy, dreary, and cool. And of course, with those showers around, I will track it with the hour-by-hour forecast coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
It had been highly anticipated since the conventions 2 months ago. Tonight, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump meeting for their first presidential debate.
And the candidates wasted no time attacking each other on a variety of issues. Craig Boswell has more on tonight's debate in our top story at 11.
Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton shook hands at the start of their first presidential debate, but the fireworks started during a discussion about the economy.
It would be the most extreme version, the biggest tax cuts for the top percent of the people in this country than we've ever had. I call it trumped up. Trickle down.
For 30 years you've been doing it, and now you're just starting to think of solutions.
Well, actually,
I will bring back jobs.
Trump and Clinton also took aim at each other's controversial issues.
When she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted, as soon as she releases them, I will release my tax returns.
It must be something really important, even terrible, that he's trying to hide.
This debate is likely to go down as one of the most watched television events in history, but for all of the hype, a recent poll suggests it won't change the minds of about 9 in 10 voters. At times, the attacks were personal.
You know, you've seen me. I've been all over the place. You decided to stay home, and that's okay.
I think Donald just criticized me for preparing for this debate. And yes, I did. I prepared to be president. And I think that's a good thing.
The candidates agreed on restricting gun purchases for people on do-not-fly lists, but differed on the controversial police tactic of stop and frisk. Their next debate is October 9th. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Hempstead, New York.
Some students at the University of Kentucky attended a watch party for the presidential debate. It was held at the Whitehall Classroom building. Faculty moderators Dr. Al Cross and Dr. Alicia Cohen were on hand for the watch party. UK journalism students did some fact-checking during the debate and posted the results on Twitter. They say social media has become useful for fact-checking.
I think it just shows that the people now are concerned and critical of what other candidates and people are saying. And it's not just the job of journalists anymore, it's the job of the people to really hold these people accountable to what they say.
The Gifford Blyton Professorship in Oral Communication and Forensics Endowment sponsor tonight's watch party.
The Fayette County Health Department adjusting its mosquito spraying schedule after a person visiting Lexington was diagnosed with the Zika virus. This map shows the 40502 zip code where the health department moved up spraying to tonight. Health leaders say the visitor spent time in that area and had traveled from an area where the Zika virus was circulating. Sean Moody has the latest.
It seems like mosquitoes just can't resist some people.
Like mosquitoes love me, so I always get bitten.
Ailey Layson's been dealing with them all summer. She wasn't thrilled to hear that someone who'd spent some time in Lexington recently had tested positive for Zika.
It's kind of freaking me out now because I've been getting bitten.
The health department said that person was visiting a home somewhere in the 40502 zip code. They won't say exactly where for confidentiality. That's the same zip code as Ailey. The health department commissioner said they found out today and they decided to go ahead and start spraying for mosquitoes in that area tonight.
The concern is that if the mosquito bit a person who has the virus circulating in their system, that the mosquito population then could potentially become infected. It's unlikely, but it's certainly a possibility.
The spray that the city is using on here tonight is called Duet. It's designed to get mosquitoes who might be resting here on trees or foliage to fly up into the air. That's where they'll come into the agent that kills them. Now, the health department says the spray has been tested for safety on both humans and animals. They say it's safe to go back outside once they're done spraying.
I think the good news is that mosquito populations are waning or decreasing now that weather is cooling, and usually the mosquito season finishes up with our first hard frost.
In the meantime, he says there's no indication any local mosquitoes are carrying the virus. For Ailey, Zika or no Zika, she'll just be glad when that spray takes effect.
Oh, for me, I'm really excited because, like I said, even when I just walk around the neighborhood, I know I get bitten, so that's really awesome. I'm glad.
In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
The health department says the person who tested positive for Zika was visiting Lexington briefly and is no longer in town.
Tonight, friends are remembering a state trooper who died in an accident in Pulaski County. Investigators say 24-year-old trooper Mason Flynn fell through a barn roof and hit his head this morning. He was off duty at the time. Police say he was helping a friend with construction. New at 11, Garrett Weimer talks to the trooper's high school football coach.
For his high school football coach,
A lot of great memories about him as a football player.
it seems like just yesterday, Mason Flynn was on the field.
Gosh, it's hard to talk about. I just saw him a month or so ago. Tough to think he's gone.
In truth, it wasn't long ago Flynn was on the field. Coach Hines says Flynn graduated high school in 2011. The 24-year-old had been a state trooper only 2 years.
He's a type of positive Christian leader in the community that you want them all to become.
Trooper Flynn worked out of Post 11 in London, but we're told he patrolled here in Rockcastle County. Coach Hines says it was Flynn's dream even back then to become a state trooper.
We were very proud of him and what he had accomplished. Just one of those people that comes around your life that you'll never forget.
Protecting and serving the public, helping a friend in need when he died. Coach Hines says it's a true reflection of the kind of person Flynn was.
Just a great influence on all the rest of us, players, coaches, and everybody he was around, he influenced.
Coach Hines says Flynn still holds the school record for tackles. One heck of a linebacker, one heck of a man. A loss now that has devastated those who knew him.
It's going to be hard. This one's going to be hard.
Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Flynn graduated from the KSP Academy in January of 2015. He is the third trooper from the cadet class 92 to lose his life following the line of duty deaths of troopers Cameron Ponder and Eric Chrisman last year.
New tonight, police are looking for a man they say robbed a Madison County store. It happened just after 6 tonight at a Dollar General on Prince Royal Drive in Berea. Police say a man walked in, handed a note to a clerk demanding money, and pulled up his shirt to show he had a weapon. After getting what he wanted, Berea police say the man drove off in a black pickup, possibly a Nissan Frontier. Police are not sure if this is the same man who tried to rob a Dollar General on the bypass in Richmond yesterday and did rob a Dollar General on nearby Irvin Road a short time later.
New tonight, a man wanted in connection to a home invasion in Lexington is now in custody. Lexington police say 23-year-old Taji Winters was arrested near Bowling Green. They say he was inside a vehicle that had been reported stolen. He's facing a burglary charge for a home invasion on Lucille Drive earlier this month. In that case, police say a family was robbed at gunpoint. Police have also arrested Devarius Jones in connection to that home invasion.
A dangerous discovery in a central Kentucky neighborhood. Investigators say someone set a large trap which injured a cat. That's in 9 minutes.
And then why police say they've opened an investigation into a Powell County substitute teacher.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
It is a very different weather feel outside compared to what we were dealing with just at the same time yesterday. That's what you get when you get a true fall front through the area. Look at this comparison to where we were last night at the same time. Temperatures have dropped nearly 20 degrees in Lexington. That is pretty hard to believe, but when you have a front like we had, it is absolutely easy to believe. Now you'll find some spots a little bit cooler than that with better than 20 like Mount Sterling. Here are what temperatures look like. So 56 degrees here in Lexington tonight. 52 in Mount Sterling. Still holding on to some low 60s and upper 60s across southern and eastern Kentucky as that cooler air. And you can see it everywhere there's green. That's that major push of cooler air, and it's going to dominate. It's coming for them. It's just, again, taking its sweet time before it completely fills the air. By tomorrow morning, it's a very different look with those numbers. A lot of mid-40s and upper 40s. And let me tell you, that is going to feel chilly for you to start that Tuesday morning. Daytime highs on Tuesday look pretty nice, though. I think we end up in the upper 60s, low 70s, plenty of sunshine out there, and dry conditions. Now we get into Wednesday. Start seeing the cool air ooze in. Not quite as cool area-wide with those 40s. The reason being, we've got some clouds dropping in on us from the north at this point. And by noontime, we're stuck in the mid-60s. We go beyond that, we'll peak probably in the upper 60s. But by 5 o'clock, 4 or 5 is usually when we see the peak heating of the day. We're not that warm, 66 degrees. Normal daytime high is 75 right now for Lexington. And, of course, it continues to drop as far as average is concerned. But you see that the chill is in the air there as well. Skies are clearing out to our west. Louisville into Frankfort already clear, and it'll be coming, the clearing line, into Lawrenceburg, Versailles, and Lexington here shortly, and that will allow that rapid cool down tonight with the front now in position out to our east. And the winds starting to shift out of the northwest, we'll certainly see our air filled with some chilly stuff. So here we go, overnight and into the early morning tomorrow. Stays pretty quiet around here as far as any major surface features are concerned. No showers or anything like that until we focus in on this. This is Tuesday at 6 o'clock. You can see showers filling in across the Great Lakes. All right, but look at what that low is doing. It's dropping, getting closer and closer to us. Let's get into your Wednesday. All of a sudden, that afternoon, we are dealing with showers from Lexington to Covington, and then they'll fill in even more as we progress through the day. That's the type of coverage that we're going to have to deal with, and that's something we have to get used to with the low lingering in the area here toward the end of this week. It all depends on position, but there is a chance if it gets in the right location, we could see temperatures get stuck, maybe by Friday, Saturday, only into the 50s. Lows bring more chill, of course, and then you've got the clouds and showers are going to be out there as well, and that kind of just aids in the cooling effect. So late in the week right now, some of the models are trying to push it a little bit cooler. I'm going to stay optimistic, and I'm also going to pass it off to Chris Bailey and let him sort it out, because it really is a tricky one there at the end of the week, because it's low. If it moves, it's almost like a winter system. If it moves so far to the east or west or north, we could be dealing with much more pleasant weather. Otherwise, we could be in a mess. So you can see.
How lucky for you.
Yeah.
Just shove it over.
Yeah, I got to get out of here.
Take that, Chief Meteorologist.
Pass the buck.
Yeah, easy.
All right, thanks. Franklin County Sheriff's Office has a warning for people tonight after a string of crimes in some neighborhoods. That's in 7 minutes. Tonight, investigators are trying to figure out who set a large hunting trap in Jessamine County that ended up injuring a cat.
Jessamine County Animal Care and Control says someone found the cat with its legs stuck in the trap around Williamsburg Drive in Nicholasville. The cat was taken to a veterinarian who removed the trap, but Animal Control and Care says the cat lost 3 of its toes. Investigators say this type of trap is dangerous and should only be used for hunting wildlife.
They are not illegal here in Kentucky, but they are considered inhumane by most humane societies and animal control all over the country.
Well, they are not sure why the trap was set in a neighborhood. Animal Care and Control says the cat is doing much better tonight and has been adopted by the vet.
New tonight, a teenager is recovering after being injured in what Lexington police call an accidental shooting. It happened about 5 this afternoon on Cananero Drive near Center Parkway. Police say a group of teenagers was playing with a gun when it went off. They say a 15-year-old was hit. Police say he was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. At this point, they say no charges have been filed. New tonight, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office is reminding folks to lock their car doors after a string of thefts. Sheriff Pat Melton says thieves have stolen from unlocked cars on Evergreen Road, Cardwell Lane, and Highwood Drive in recent days. He says wallets and guns were among the things stolen. The sheriff says investigators are working to track down the thieves, and he hopes to have some names soon. A substitute teacher in Powell County is now under investigation. Police say he's been accused of inappropriately touching children. A parent, one of the children involved, says the child felt uncomfortable by the way the teacher touched her last week. And other children reported similar things to Powell County middle school leaders, who then called police. School leaders say they're doing what they can to keep students safe.
All people involved did what was needed to be done, and again, like I stated, it is an ongoing investigation.
The superintendent says because the teacher is a substitute, school leaders are not taking any steps regarding his employment yet. The Powell County School Resource Officer and Clay City Police are leading the investigation.
New tonight, a man accused of killing 3 people in Louisville threatened a Jefferson County judge in court. During a hearing, Bryce Rhodes told District Court Judge Amber Wolf he would find where she lives and kill her and her family. He was brought into the courtroom in a restraint chair and wearing a spit mask. Rhodes also cursed at the judge several times while threatening her.
You're saying you're going to find out where I live at?
I don't give a about none of that. You got family, I'll be out.
That was a threat against the court. I think that I'm asking the county attorney's office to take that into account and consider what to do with that.
Rhodes was in court that day on new assault charges. An arrest warrant says he attacked another inmate at a jail in Louisville. He is set to be back in court next week. New tonight, police have arrested a woman they say forced children to sell cookies in Anderson County. Lawrenceburg police have charged 32-year-old Rhonda Bell with human trafficking. According to WDRB TV in Louisville, police say Bell forced 9 children to sell peppermint thin cookies for a non-existent organization. Police say Bell kept the money from the cookie sales for herself. They say the children are between 9 and 16 years old.
A more relaxed Coach Mark Stoops holding his regular weekly news conference, Rob.
And with his team winning a big game over the weekend, it was good to see Stoops smiling and laughing. Now his team is a big underdog against Alabama. How do the Cats go forward against the #1 team in the country? Sports is next. Coming off their best game of the season, the Wildcats get the #1 team in the country on the road Saturday, Alabama. The challenge is huge. The Tide is a 34.5-point favorite. Today, Mark Stoops wasn't about to get caught into saying his team could pull an upset.
I'm not going to make any prediction like that. You know what we're up against. What are you trying to get a headline? Come on. We're worried about getting better. We're worried about preparation today to get our football team in a position to win a game. I want to see us continue to worry about us and to continue to progress and continue to improve in the areas that we need to improve on.
Now, the best thing about Mark Stoops' news conference today was that you saw someone who was doing some laughing again, having fun. The way the season started, the pressure has been on. Stoops was asked what he saw in Alabama's special teams.
And the same thing I see on their offense. A bunch of war daddies playing hard. That's what I see.
You said war daddy?
That's right. That's what I said.
During today's news conference, Stoops talked about his relationship with Nick Saban, one that goes back to the days Stoops was in high school and Saban tried recruiting him to Michigan State. Saban said today that he has known the Stoops family for quite some time and has been impressed with the job that Mark has done at UK.
You know, I think that the continuity in programs sometimes gets overlooked, and you know, sometimes you got a better chance to build in the long run if you're not constantly making changes. And I think people, you know, sometimes overlook that. So I think Mark has done a really, really good job. And, you know, I think they're a really, you know, competitive, physical team that is going to be a real challenge for us.
We do not know the status of Damian Harris for Saturday's Kentucky-Alabama game. The Madison Southern product and Alabama running back left last weekend's game against Kent State after just 4 carries. He was taken to the locker room with a sprained ankle. Today, Nick Saban said Harris is day-to-day. Harris is the Crimson Tide leading rusher, 345 yards on just 40 carries. Tough game, #1 Alabama. Saturday night, 7 o'clock. It is on ESPN. And today, the SEC announcing game times for October 8th. Kentucky Vanderbilt, 4 o'clock kickoff on the SEC network. Both UK and Vandy are 2-2 here in the early season. NBA training camps getting underway this week. John Wall will be limited in camp after undergoing knee surgery this summer. Wall says he's feeling great and has been able to play 1-on-1 and 3-on-3. Wizards head coach Scott Brooks doesn't know if Wall will play in any of the preseason games. The Wizards are scheduled to play the Kings in an exhibition game October 15th at Rupp Arena. For tonight's Florida Marlins game, all players and coaches wore number 16 to honor Jose Fernandez, the Marlins pitcher who died tragically Sunday in a boating accident. Marlins hosting the Mets tonight, bottom of the first inning. D. Gordon leading off for the Marlins, and he takes Bartolo Colon deep to right field. Solo home run for Gordon. He was overcome with emotion as he came to the plate, sobbed into the shoulders of a number of his teammates. The home run was Gordon's first of the season. That's sports. We'll be right back.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away here on WKYT. Tonight's guests include Rob Lowe.
Enjoy tomorrow, right, Jim?
It should be fantastic. Now, when you get up tomorrow morning, that's going to have a different effect on you, I believe, because you'll wake up to maybe some upper 40s out there. And I've been outside, and we're in the 60s and 50s, and that's pretty chilly for me. So I can only imagine what the 40s are going to be like for all the folks that have to get up and at them early tomorrow morning.
A little bit of the shock to the system that's coming our way.
It will be, and they'll try to hang around most of the week.
You might want to cover your head.
Just a little bit.
Put a hat on or something.
Watching.